Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Crafty Christmas in July 2023 YouTube collaboration that's hosted by Terry from Sweet Pea Papers and Lisa from Paper Lace and Bling. Don't forget that there are a lot of different channels participating, so check out the description box below for more Christmas content throughout the month. And also don't forget that Terry and Lisa both have some specials going on in their various groups and shops, so check those out too. So we are making a December daily, and we just finished Signature 1 in the last video, so now we're moving on to Signature 2. So this is the front of my signature, and today I'm going to be working on the very first spread. So this is day 10 that we are starting on today. So what I'm going to do first, I've got some trims from Lisa. So again, don't forget to check out her Etsy shop to purchase some of these trims and lots of other things. I'm going to be using two pieces to create a belly band on this page right in the center. So I've just trimmed it down so that it will fit the page, and then I'm going to add my adhesive just down the sides on each side of this, and then I'll run the other piece of trim right across the bottom of this. I'm going to add my number 10 here on top of the trim, and then I've got one of the little cut apart pieces from the collection that I'm going to place here right beside it. Since this fabric is so thin, I'm only using my tacky glue here, but if it doesn't hold, I'll come back and use Fabri-Tac, but I don't want to have my paper soak my glue through and then have this stick. So I'm hoping that this will work. And again, if not, I'll just come back later and I'll pull these pieces off and add the Fabri-Tac. Next, I'm going to be using this set from the Elizabeth Crafts Designs Planner Essentials. I'm using this insert piece and then this smaller tag piece here. So I have my insert and it's larger than my page, so I've just scored it, and I'm going to flip this up and create a little tiny tuck spot on the back to place my tags. So I'm just going to add my adhesive here on each side and then flip this up. And then I have the two little tag pieces. For now, I'm just going to stick those in that pocket. That way, whenever I get to this page, I can decide what I want to do with it. So everything isn't going to be completely decorated, obviously, since I don't know what I'm going to use for each of these pages. Some of the stuff will get decorated more later on. I did cut a piece from the cut aparts that says Warm Wishes, and I'm going to just adhere this down here on the front of my piece. And now that I have this finished, I'm just going to slide this right down in here on my page, and I'm going to come over here to this side. So I've got one of the pieces I cut from one of the frames that we did on a previous page. This was the center piece of that, so I'm going to use this here on the background. I've used one of the doily dies from Annette Green's Everything's Blooming collection, and I'm going to place this down here. That way a photo can be cut round and placed on top of there. Now I have one of the border strips that I'm going to place here on the side. So I'm going to layer all this up on my page. And I took another border strip and then I cut the ends to make a banner, and I'm going to place this here. And then I'm going to grab one of the buttons from this pack that Lisa gave us from the goodie bag and see what I can find that might match. And I'm going to place it here on this edge. And I think I like the white one because then it brings the white in from the layout on this side. So I'm going to use that one. And then we'll come back and add some gems to both of these pages. So I'm going to start on this page with my border, Because I want everything to be layered up, it's okay if things are overlapping, but I don't want everything to be squished on the page where it doesn't look well thought out. So this piece is more for decoration than anything else. And I also thought about just leaving this whole red postage stamp blank. That way I could place something there too, but then I just decided that I wanted to add a little bit of decoration here to finish off the page. First off with the gems, I'm going to place some in these holes on my button. So I'm just going to add some glossy accents there and then add 4 of these little red gems. And then I'm also going to add some red gems around the doily. And I'm just going to place 1 in the center on each of the little sections here. So nice and simple, but it'll give it some pops of color. On this page, I'm going to add my different colored, my gold gems to each of those little pieces on the trim down at the bottom. And that's going to be all for day number 10. So I'm just going to let everything dry here and then we'll come back and do day number 11. I'm going to start on the cream colored page for spread 11. It's going to be a little bit more simple. So I've just got a square, it's 3 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to use this as my main focus. So this was from this long strip here. It says remember this forever, but I just wanted it to say remember this, and it's small enough to fit on my page. So to cover up these holes, I've just taken one of the border strips from the paper and I cut it down to size and I'm just going to apply it here to the front so that I cover those holes on this piece. And then my photo mat is actually the same size as my pieces as well. That's where I came up with the dimension for that. Now I'm going to adhere this down so that this end is open so a photo will slide underneath of it. I want this to kind of be centered with a little bit of a border here, but then to have just a little tiny border there. So once this is on, I can take this piece then and I'll add my adhesive to the letters off the side and just a little tiny bit of the bottom thicker section. Again, just making sure that I have the end open so that that photo will slide behind it. And then I also have very tiny little red Happy Holidays border strip from, I believe I got this one from the 8x8 paper collection. It's so tiny. But just to add a little tiny bit of color here at the top, and I'm going to leave the bottom plain. Now for this side, I'm going to be using this die set here, And I'm going to focus on this piece and the inner piece to create this next little segment. So I have this and this. This is what I've made with those two pieces. And I'm going to do a couple of things to it before I put this on the page. So first I just have a very thin red ribbon that I'm going to wrap around this top part where these notches are. So I'm going to be wrapping it around here, and I'm going to make this into a bow, but I actually want this to fit on my piece and not move. So I'm going to just add a little bit of adhesive. And then place it where it should go. Next, I'm going to wrap this around the front side, and I'm going to bring this up just over top of where that little notch is, because I'm going to end up tying this in a bow in just a minute. I'm going to make a fake bow so it doesn't have as much bulk. So I'm going to take this other side up, and I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive here. Probably would be better to use Fabri-Tac, but I have my tacky glue handy, so that's what I'm using. And now I'm going to apply adhesive in the center. And I'm going to take that one that I looped up, and I'm going to loop it down. Then I'm going to apply adhesive again in the center, and I'm going to take this other side and loop it down. Right into that adhesive in the center. And it's a very tiny little bow. Now while that's drying, I'm going to prepare this piece. I'm going to put it in here, but have it swing out so that it'll open and there'll be a photo spot there. So I'm going to flip this over to the back side, and I'm going to place my adhesive here. I'm using my gold glitter Graphic 45 washi tape for this. This piece is going to be down in the corner, but I'm also going to place this on it as a decoration. So I'm going to do that now, just adding some adhesive on the corner and then placing my piece, because I need to have this to know where I need this to go. So I need it to clear my corner of my page, and then I can apply this down. And I'm going to apply some wet glue over top of my washi so that it doesn't come off. So I'm going to redo that. And adhere this right to my page. And then this, I'm going to slide this on here. And then this will be a door, basically, that opens up. Now that this is dry, I'm going to go ahead and come in here and trim this a little bit. I'm going to add my adhesive to the back of my piece. And then I'll adhere it right to my page. And now I have my 11 that I'm going to place up here in this top left-hand corner. I'm only going to put a couple gems on. So first I'm going to put one in the center of my bow, and I'm going to be using the gold gems here. So just the one in the middle of the bow. And then over here, I'm going to place 3. So there's 1 on each of the centers of the poinsettias on this border strip. And I'm going to leave all of that open red space here because I was thinking about this earlier, that if I do something like photos inside of here, I want to be able to leave room in case there's any journaling that needs to be done too. So this is it for spread number 10 and 11. I'm going to let this dry, and then in the next video, we'll move on to doing days 12 and 13. So don't forget to check out all the other YouTube channels listed in the description box below for more great Christmas in July content. Thank you for watching and have a great day.